The following is a video presentation of your operator's manual designed to make the operation of your 535 automatic easy and efficient. The Ridgid 535 automatic threading machine is designed to thread 1/8 inch to 2 inch pipe and 5/16 inch to 2 inch bolt stock. Warning: other uses may increase the risk of injury. Before assembling or operating the 535 automatic, be sure to read the operator's manual. Safety instructions are located in the front of the manual. Read and understand all the safety and operating instructions before operating the 535 automatic. Read all labels on the 535 automatic. Failure to understand and follow the warnings of the operator's manual may result in electrical shock, fire, and/or serious personal injury. For your convenience, this videotape is divided into the following segments so you can quickly find what you need. Mounting the machine to the stand. Machine inspection. Operation of the 535 automatic. Installing dies into the 811A, 815A, and 816-817 die heads. Installing the die head. Maintenance. Technical service. Mounting the machine to the stand. Note: the 535 automatic is designed to be mounted to a Ridgid universal machine stand. Caution: do not mount the 535 automatic on older Ridgid universal stands. Use model numbers 100A, 150A, or 200A only. Assemble the stand with the inside decals located towards the inside of the stand. Insert the stand stop tabs into the bottom of the legs. Note: insert the axle into the frame and secure it with a 1/2 inch lock washer and nut. Adjust the two halves of the stand stop to the proper distance to fit into the rear legs of the stand. The stand stop bracket is not required or supplied with the number 100A leg and tray stand. Position the stand stop bracket so that the end of the bracket is held in place by the axle shaft. Slide a wheel onto the axle shaft. Slide a flat washer over the axle and install a cotter pin to hold the wheel on the axle. Mount the machine to the stand using 4 bolts that mount into each corner of the base. Caution: for proper balance and operation, Ridgid machines must be mounted through the appropriate holes on the legs. To mount the machine on a bench, use 4 5/16 inch bolts in holes provided at each corner of the machine base. Warning: failure to mount the threading machine to a stable stand or bench may result in tipping or serious injury. Machine inspection. Inspect the 535 automatic threading machine on a daily basis. Make sure the threading machine is unplugged and the directional switch is in the off position. Make sure the foot switch is present and attached to the machine. Warning: do not operate this machine without a foot switch. Inspect the power cord and plug for damage. If the plug has been modified, is missing the grounding pin, or if the cord is damaged, do not use this machine until the cord has been replaced. Inspect the machine for any broken, missing, misaligned, or binding parts, as well as any other conditions that may affect the safe and normal operation of the machine. If any of these conditions are present, do not use this machine until any problem has been repaired. Clean the chuck jaws with a wire brush. Lubricate the machine if necessary according to the maintenance instructions. Use tools and accessories that are designed for this machine and meet the needs for this application. Accessories designed for use with other equipment may be hazardous when used with this machine. Clean any oil, grease, or dirt from all handles and controls. Inspect the cutting edges of the tool and dies. If necessary, have them replaced prior to using this machine. Note: high-speed dies are recommended for use with this machine. Because of its high speed, alloy dies will wear quickly and produce poor quality threads. Clean metal shavings and other debris from the chip tray. Check the level and quality of the thread cutting oil. Replace or add oil if necessary. The reservoir in the base will hold approximately 7 quarts of thread cutting oil. Note: thread cutting oil lubricates and cools the threads during the threading operation. A dirty or poor grade cutting oil can result in poor thread quality. Note: to drain dirty oil and properly maintain the oil system, refer to the maintenance instructions. Operation of the 535 automatic. The following safety procedures should be followed when using the 535 automatic threading machine. Do not wear gloves or loose clothing when operating this machine. Keep sleeves and jackets buttoned. Do not reach across the machine or pipe. Keep hands away from rotating pipes and fittings. Stop the machine before wiping pipe threads or screwing on fittings. Allow the machine to come to a complete stop before touching the pipe. Do not use this machine to make or break fittings. Guard or barricade the area when the workpiece extends beyond the machine. A 3-foot clearance around the machine and workpiece is ideal. Keep bystanders, children, and visitors away while operating a threading machine. Wear safety glasses and rubber-soled non-slip shoes. Proper setup of the machine in work area is required. Check the work area for adequate lighting, a grounded 20-amp electrical outlet, a clear path to the electrical outlet, a dry place for the machine and operator. Do not use this machine in standing water. No flammable liquids, vapors, or dust that may ignite. And place the machine on level ground. Position the foot switch so that the operator can safely control the machine, tools, and workpiece. Make sure the reverse, off, and forward switch is in the off position. Plug the power cord into a grounded outlet. If the power cord cannot reach the receptacle, use a 12-gauge 3-wire extension cord for lengths under 25 feet that will accept the machine plug. Swing the cutter, reamer, and die head to the up position. Select the proper speed as follows. Open the chuck by putting the machine in reverse and tapping the foot switch. Pull and slide the gear shift to the proper speed from the speed chart in the operator's manual or on the machine. If the machine gear shift does not drop into gear, tap the foot switch and slide the gear shift as the machine slows. Return to the off position. Measure and mark the pipe to be worked. If the pipe is long enough to be retained by the centering device, insert the pipe through the front or rear of the machine. If the pipe is short, insert into the front of the machine. Insert the pipe so that the end to be worked or the cutting mark is located about 5 inches from the chuck cover. Warning: never reach inside the chuck cover while the machine is connected to the power cord. Support long lengths of pipe with pipe supports. Use a Ridgid VJ99 stand. Note: if the pipe is chucked off center, run the machine in reverse. Switch the position to release the pipe and rechuck. To cut pipe with the cutter, move the pipe cutter onto the pipe and move the carriage lever to line up the cutter wheel with the mark on the pipe. Tighten the cutter feed screw handle on the pipe. With the forward off reverse switch in the forward position, depress the foot switch and start the machine. Slowly turn the cutter feed screw handle until the pipe is cut off. Then stop the machine. Return the cutter to the up position. To ream pipe, swing the reamer arm down into position. Extend the reamer by pressing the latch and sliding the knob toward the pipe until the latch engages the bar. Position the reamer into the pipe and complete the reaming by pushing the carriage lever with your right hand. Retract the reamer and swing the reamer arm up and out of the way. To thread pipe, lower the die head into the threading position. Oil to lubricate and cool the pipe will automatically flow through the die head. Engage the dies on the pipe using the carriage hand wheel. Threading with a quick opening, self-opening, or semi-automatic die head. Swing the cutter and reamer to the up position. Swing the die head down with the throw-out lever set to the closed position for the 811A and 815A die heads. Set the die head to the proper size. For the 811A die head, loosen the clamp lever and adjust the throw-out lever until the index line on the link is aligned with the proper size mark on the size bar. Tighten the clamp lever. If oversized or undersized threads are required, set the index line in the direction of over or under on the size bar. For the 815A die head, loosen the clamp lever and adjust the throw-out lever until the index line on the lock screw is aligned with the proper size mark on the size bar. Tighten the clamp lever. If oversized or undersized threads are required, set the index line in the direction of over or under on the size bar. For the 816-817 die heads, push down on the lever and slide to the proper size mark. Now, check the gear shift lever and place it in the proper speed as described earlier. Note, failure to select the proper speed may result in the motor stalling under low voltage conditions. Turn the carriage hand wheel to bring the dies against the end of the pipe. Slight pressure on the hand wheel will start the dies. For the 811A die head, you will need to rotate the throw-out lever to the open position when the end of the pipe is flush with the end of the number 1 die. For the 815A die head, the throw-out lever is automatically opened when the die head trigger reaches the end of the pipe. For the 816-817 semi-automatic die head, tap the handle when the pipe is flush with the end of the number 1 die. Then, turn the control switch to the reverse position. Depress the foot switch and the machine will release the pipe. Release the foot switch and turn the control switch to the off position. Warning: never reach inside the chuck cover while the machine is connected to the power source. Your fingers could be crushed. Slide the workpiece out of the threading machine, keeping a firm grip on the workpiece as it clears the threading machine. Warning: to avoid serious injury from falling parts or equipment tip-overs when handling long workpieces, make sure that the end farthest from the threading machine is supported prior to removal. Clean any oil spills or splatter on the ground surrounding the threading machine. If possible, the thread should be checked with a thread ring gauge. A proper thread is cut when the end of the pipe is plus or minus 1 turn of being flush with the face of the ring gauge. If a ring gauge is not available, a fitting can be used. The fitting should be the same as those used on the job. The pipe thread should be cut to obtain 2 to 3 turns hand-tight engagement with the fitting. If the pipe thread is not the proper diameter, the index link should be moved in the over or under size mark on the size bar. Installing dies in the quick opening die head, right and left hand. The 811A universal quick opening die head for right-hand threads requires 4 sets of dies, ranging from 1/8 inch through 2 inch. 1 set of dies is required for each of the following pipe size ranges: 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, and 3/8 inch. 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch, and 1 inch through 2 inch. Bolt threading requires a separate set of dies for each bolt size. No bolt dies are available for left-hand universal dies. Lay the die head on a bench with the numbers facing up. Flip the throw-out lever to the open position. Loosen the clamp lever approximately 3 turns. Lift the tongue of the lever washer up and out of the slot under the size bar. Slide the throw-out lever all the way to the end of the slot in the over direction indicated on the size bar. Insert the dies to the mark on the sides of the dies. Die numbers 1 through 4 must agree with those on the head. Slide the throw-out lever back so that the tongue of the clamp lever washer will drop in the slot under the size bar. Adjust the slide bar until the index line on the link is aligned with the proper size mark on the size bar. Tighten the clamp lever. For bolt threads, align the index line with the bolt line on the size bar. If oversized or undersized threads are required, set the index line in the direction of the over or under size mark on the size bar. Installing dies in the self-opening die head, right hand only. The 815A universal self-opening die head for right-hand threads requires 4 sets of dies ranging from 1/8 inch through 2 inch. 1 set of dies is required for each of the following pipe size ranges: 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, and 3/8 inch, 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch, and 1 inch through 2 inch. Bolt threading requires a separate set of dies for each bolt size. Place the die head on a bench in the vertical position. Make sure the trigger assembly is released. Loosen the clamp lever approximately 6 full turns. Pull the lock screw out of the slot under the size bar so that the roll bar in the lock screw will bypass the slot. Position the bar so that the index line on the lock screw is aligned with the end of the removed dies position. Lay the head down with the numbers up. Remove dies from the die head. Insert the new dies to the mark on the side of the dies. Numbers 1 through 4 on the dies must match the numbers on the die head. Move the throw-out lever back to lock the dies. With the head in the vertical position, rotate the cam plate until the roll pin on the lock screw can be positioned in the slot under the size bar. In this position, dies will lock in the die head. Make sure the roll points towards the end of the size bar marked Remove Dies. Adjust the die head size bar until the index line on the lock screw or link is aligned with the proper size mark on the size bar. Tighten the clamp lever. If oversized or undersized threads are required, set the index line in the direction of the over or under size mark on the size bar. Note, when left-hand threading, the under-over positions are reversed. Installing dies in the semi-automatic die heads. The 816-817 semi-automatic die heads for right-hand threads requires 4 sets of dies ranging from 1/8 inch through 2 inch. 1 set of dies is required for each of the following pipe size ranges: 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, and 3/8 inch. 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch, and 1 inch through 2 inch. Bolt threading requires a separate set of dies for each bolt size. Lay the die head down flat on a table or bench with the numbers facing up. Depress the handle so that the cam plate rests against the stop. pull up on the plunger knob and push the handle all the way to the left. Remove dies from the die head. Select the correct new dies for the size desired. The numbers on the dies must correspond with those on the die head slots. Insert the dies to the line marked on the dies, numbered edges up. Rotate the handle back so that the plunger knob pops back down flush against the die head. To set or adjust the desired size, loosen the screw for the desired position block size and move the block to the right to make it undersize and to the left to make it oversized. When setting blocks for new dies, start with the position block on the middle mark and adjust from there. Installing a die head. Install the die head by inserting the post into the mating hole in the carriage. Maintenance. Warning: before performing maintenance on the 535 automatic, make sure the machine is unplugged and the directional switch is in the off position. Proper lubrication is essential to trouble-free operation and long life of the power drive. Remove the 4 cover mounting screws and remove the cover. Use a grease gun to apply grease to the shaft bearing grease fittings every 2 to 6 months, depending on the amount of use. Apply a moderate coat of grease on the large gear each time the bearings are lubricated. Remove excess grease between the rear bearing and the brake. To help assure the proper operation of the machine, keep the oil system clean as follows. Place a container under the drain valve and drain the oil. Slide out the chip tray to remove and empty and clean the reservoir with mineral spirits. Remove the round oil filter and clean the screen. Use a solvent and compressed air if available. Use a putty knife to remove sludge buildup on the bottom of the oil reservoir. Warning: do not operate this machine with the cover off. Always replace the cover after lubricating the machine. Make sure to clean the teeth of the jaw inserts daily with a wire brush. Note: when the teeth on a jaw become worn and fail to hold the pipe or rod during operation, replace the entire set of jaws. To change the jaws, switch the machine to reverse. Tap the foot switch and move the gear shift between speeds. Remove the front cover. Remove the 4 E-clips and front support ring. Remove the jaws from the shafts. Replace with new jaws or flip over to the unused side. Note: ensure the key is in the shaft when placing the jaw onto the shaft. Secure the front support ring with the E-clips. Secure the front cover with the cap screws. Note: service and repair work on this threading machine must be performed by qualified repair personnel. The machine should be taken to a Ridgid independent authorized service center or returned to the factory.